knew she'd fire me. That's fine, the New York Times would beg to hire me. Till then I'd log alone. Blah, 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 blah.
At the Chamber, we believe, and I'm sure most people will agree, that this is a dramatic and radical rewrite of the nation's labor law as they have existed for the past 60, 70 years.
We gave the group a briefing on a number of labor issues, particularly the card check issue, which would do three things. Number one, it would essentially take away secret ballot elections and organizing campaigns, union organizing campaigns. Second, it would put in place a mandatory binding arbitration procedure, which is completely incompatible with the National Labor Relations Act, and which would upend 70 years of labor law and collective bargaining. And third, it would impose one-sided penalties purely on employers, not on labor unions. So it's a very threatening bill, and we were happy to discuss that with the group.
What we've had over the past 20, 30 years is a transition away from an economy based on repetitive jobs, manual labor jobs, much more towards the knowledge economy, where it's brain power, it's raw. At the briefing, we went over two issues. We were discussing card check and the effect that that would have on American workers, stripping them of their right to a private vote on union organizing, but pouring hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars into union coffers and new union dues for members they pressure into joining, which they can then use to push the entire left-of-center agenda that would make it very difficult to pass any new conservative reforms. And we also discussed the state of the labor market and the fact that for all that you hear that the economy is falling apart and workers can't find good jobs, that there are actually better jobs available to Americans now than there were a generation ago. We're seeing a shift towards knowledge-based jobs, jobs that require brain power instead of brawn and just rote repetition, and those are jobs that tend to pay better for Americans. We see that healthcare coverage rates have not declined when you only look at native-born Americans and take out immigrants. We see that pension coverage rates are stable, and we see that Americans are actually much more secure in their jobs. You are less likely to be fired than you were a generation ago, but you're much more likely to move between jobs. You see an increase in job mobility, but not a decrease in job security.
Very good opportunity to get the word out, to bypass some of the traditional media that might not be willing to talk about these issues or print them. So it's a very helpful format, and it's great. We'll be happy to come back anytime.
I'd say it was a very good bloggers briefing. There are a lot of good questions asked that a lot of people were educated about these issues, which haven't received the attention that they should have received so far, but are very important issues that people need to learn about. And I think it was a good step towards educating the public about what's going on.